Elara had always believed in the strength of family. At 32, she had built a life she thought was unshakable, a cozy home in the hills, a marriage to Theo, her college sweetheart, and a bond with her father, Marcus, that had weathered every storm. But trust, she would learn, was a fragile thing, like glass polished to look unbreakable until it shattered. Elara and Theo had been married for 7 years. Their life wasn't perfect, but it was theirs. Late-night talks over cheap wine, shared dreams of starting a small vineyard, and the kind of quiet intimacy that comes from knowing someone's every quirk. Theo was charming, with a quick laugh and a knack for making her feel seen. Her father, Marcus, adored him, often saying Theo was the son he never had. The two men would spend hours together, fishing or tinkering in Marcus's old garage, leaving Elara grateful for their closeness. The first crack appeared on a rainy Tuesday. Elara, working from home as a freelance editor, noticed an email on Theo's open laptop. It was from a bank she didn't recognize, confirming a transfer of $20,000 to an account in Marcus's name. Puzzled, she checked their joint savings account. Her stomach dropped. The balance was nearly zero. The vineyard fund, their dream, was gone. She confronted Theo that evening. He stood in their kitchen, his face pale, stammering about an investment opportunity Marcus had pitched. "It's for us, Elara," he insisted. "Your dad said it's a sure thing, a real estate deal. We'll double our money in months." His words felt hollow, his eyes avoiding hers. When she pressed for details, he grew defensive, snapping that she should trust him. "Talk to your father," he finally muttered before storming out. Elara called Marcus, her hands trembling. Her father's voice was calm, too calm, as he echoed Theo's story. "It's a good deal, sweetheart. I didn't want to bother you with it. You've been so busy." But something in his tone, a faint hesitation, gnawed at her. Marcus had always been her rock, the one who taught her to ride a bike, who wiped her tears after her mother's death. He wouldn't lie to her, would he? Driven by a sinking feeling, Elara dug deeper. She contacted the bank, posing as a confused wife double-checking her husband's transactions. The account in Marcus's name wasn't tied to any real estate deal. It was linked to a series of cash withdrawals, casino transfers, and payments to names she didn't recognize. Her father, she discovered, had a gambling problem he'd hidden for years, one that had drained his savings and now, apparently, hers. She confronted Marcus at his small, cluttered house. The man who once seemed invincible looked small, his shoulders slumped. "I thought I could win it back," he admitted, eyes on the floor. "Theo was helping me. He didn't want you to worry." Helping. Theo had funneled their savings into Marcus's addiction, knowing full well it was a black hole. Elara's voice shook as she asked why. Marcus's answer was a knife. "Theo said you'd be fine. You always figure things out." The betrayal cut deeper than she could have imagined. Theo, her partner, had chosen her father's pride over their future. Marcus, her hero, had let her dreams bleed to cover his shame. They hadn't just taken her money. They'd taken her trust, her sense of safety. She left her father's house without another word, the rain soaking her as she walked to her car. Theo was waiting at home, his face a mask of false remorse. "I was trying to protect you," he said. Elara didn't scream or cry. She packed a bag, her movements mechanical, and left. She didn't know where she'd go. Maybe to her friend Lila's, maybe somewhere new. The vineyard was gone, but so was the weight of their lies. In the weeks that followed, Elara rebuilt. She took on extra editing jobs, rented a small apartment, and started therapy to untangle the knots of betrayal. Marcus called, leaving voicemails she deleted unheard. Theo sent letters, pleading for forgiveness, but they went unanswered. Elara wasn't ready to forgive. Not yet, maybe not ever. But she was learning to trust herself, and that was enough for now. One evening, standing on her tiny balcony overlooking a quiet street, Elara sipped coffee and imagined a new dream. Not a vineyard, but something hers alone. The glass of her life had shattered, but she was gathering the pieces, shaping something stronger, something true.